no matter where you're starting from.
Third place game coming up next here in Class 2A, featuring Rockford Lutheran and the Sting of Seton Academy. And then we have our 2A title coming up tonight between U High and Breeze Central. Matt Rodewald with you here at the floor of Carver Arena. You know, this is a tough game to play in, the third place game. And for all staters, Mark Weems of Seton and Tavius Montgomery of Rockford Lutheran, their efforts last night might be disappointing on their watch, and their effort just in general might be expended. So for the war of attrition, we send it up to our call. Dave Bernhardt and Cameron Smith have more. Gentlemen.
All right, thank you very much, Matt. Well, I'll tell you right now, Cameron and I do not have any attrition. We're ready to go for a big night of basketball, but you're dead on in terms of what it will take from these two teams. First of all, for Seton, they had that tough battle against Breeze Central. The Cougars took a lot of their game away, the Sting's game away, and on the other side, for Rockford Lutheran, Cameron, you really wonder how much energy they will have after an all-out war against U-High last night.
Well, Seton must finish around the basket tonight, and they need to have a better performance from the free throw line. They only shot 12 of 24 from the line in last night's loss against Breeze Central. That's not going to let you win basketball games. Mark Weems and Kamal Sashi need to be consistent scoring the ball in order for the Sting to win tonight. Now, for the Cougars, like we talked about, we want to see how they're going to respond after last night's loss against U-High. They only lost that game by 3 points. If they can win the rebounding battle and also get Thomas Kopelman hot from beyond the arc, they have a good chance of winning this game.
But to win that rebounding battle, they're going to have to get past the beast. That's J.R. Tolliver for Seton Academy.
Well, J.R. Tolliver is a bull inside of the paint, and he flexes muscles against Breeze Central with 10 points and 11 rebounds. Seton must get him the ball on the blocks and in his sweet spots to put pressure on Lutheran's front court. So it'll be interesting to see how they get that ball inside to JR. Now, defending JR is going to be Tavius Montgomery. Now, Tavius has that active body. He'll have his hands full against JR inside that paint, but he's up for the challenge. When Tavius is playing great basketball, this Rockford Lutheran team is tough to beat.
Of course, for Rockford Lutheran, their road here to Peoria has gone this way. It was a super sectional win over Fieldcrest, 72-66. The big one in that was the win over Byron in the sectional semi. That avenged 3 losses earlier in the year to Byron, the only 3 losses Rockford Lutheran suffered until last night. And for Seton Academy, they rolled into this tournament the number 2 ranked team. They have been number 1 all season long. They had to survive a double overtime win against University High in the very first game of this tournament. Of course, they dropped the 57-47 game last night to Breeze Central, a game in which the Sting only shot 27%. We're getting set for the third place game, and let's meet tonight's starting lineups. And for that, we go to Paul Herzog here at Carver Arena.
Good evening, basketball fans. On behalf of the Illinois High School Association and the City of Peoria, welcome to Carver Arena for America's original March Madness. Tonight's Class 2A third place game for 2012 features the Rockford Lutheran Crusaders 29-4 and the South Holland Seton Academy Sting 28-5. Let's meet the starting lineups. At a forward for Lutheran, a 6'4" freshman, number 24, Nate Weeding. At a forward for Seton Academy, a 6'5" senior, 25, Sylvester Tolliver. At a guard for the Crusaders, a 6'2" junior, number 1, Terrence Roby. Another forward for the Sting, a 6'9" senior, 33, Russell Robinson. At a guard for Lutheran, a 5'11" senior, number 3, Derek Seiler. At a guard for Seton Academy, a 6'2" junior, number 4, Mark Weems. Another guard for the Crusaders, a 6'1" sophomore, number 4, Thomas Kopelman. At a guard for the Sting, a 5'11" senior, number 10, Jordan Foster. And the fourth guard for Rockford Lutheran, a 5'11" senior, number 11, Alex Oates. And the third guard for Seton Academy, a 6' junior, number 23, Kamal Shassi. Head coach for Rockford Lutheran in his second year, a record of 46-17, Tom Guzzi. Head coach for South Holland Seton Academy in his second year, a record of 49-13, Brandon Thomas.
Our officials tonight working this third place game. They get here by virtue of their work all season long. Tom Fulkerson, Dave Kazuma, and Jeff Sonnenberg. We're set for a big night of basketball here in Class 2A. We get it rolling with your third place game. Seton Academy, Rockford Lutheran coming up.
Just a reminder that kids who participate in high school sports tend to go a little farther than those who don't.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov.
Brandon Thomas in his second year here at Seton Academy. Thomas playing his high school basketball at Dallas, Texas. Won a couple of state championships at Kimball High School before moving on to Grambling State. And at his alma mater, Tom Guzzi, a 1992 graduate of Rockford Lutheran. Didn't get to the big one here tonight, but he is thrilled to be in Peoria playing for the third place trophy. Glad to have you with us here on the IHSA Television Network, along with Matt Rodewald and former Southern Illinois Saluki Cameron Smith. I'm Dave Bernhardt. We get set to start third place battle, and it'll start with the Sting. Jordan Foster with it. Kamal Shasi, J.R. Tolliver, 3 touches and a shot, and that's Jordan Kopelman will take the first rebound of the night.
Well, that's not how you want to get started if you're J.R. Tolliver and Seton, to start that game off with a fadeaway shot on the baseline. You want to try and attack the basket. I know these guys are pretty upset that they didn't pull out the wins last night, but hey, it's a basketball game. You have to be a competitor and finish strong.
Thomas Kopelman, who struggled from three-point range, misses on the first 3 there. Flying in for the rebound, Terrence Roby. Foul will go against Seton Academy.
Well, Dave, we know that Thomas isn't bad for shooting that basketball. He was 1 for 7 in last night's loss against U High, but he's going to keep putting him up. He gets great looks, but for some reason, they're just not falling for him.
You notice Nate Weeding, the freshman, getting the start tonight in place of the senior Tavius Montgomery.
And that is going to be really interesting to see if the freshman can step up to the plate and provide a spark for this team.
Seiler was there, wide open, looked around and misses the easy one. Weems the other way. Foster. Weeding battling for the boards, and it will go to Rockford Lutheran. There's Tavius Montgomery, the transfer from Boylan, honorable mention All-Stater.
And he had a tough go at it last night against the trees of U High, but it's pretty interesting to see why he's not starting. They're getting Nate Weeding the starting assignment, but you need Tavius Montgomery in this ball game because he can contend with J.R. Tolliver and Russell Robinson on those boards.
Kopelman disrupts the fast break opportunity for Seton Academy. The Sting at 28-5 played mainly a 3A and 4A schedule. They have had a tough time working their way through these Class 2A playoffs. Nothing has come easy for them.
Especially in last night's loss against Breeze Central. They were really tested in that ball game. But I think the more aggressive team in this first quarter is going to have the upper hand because all of these players, their emotions, they're really down, they're not up. But as we see, Thomas Kopelman, there he is. He's 1 for 2 on the night. But these players' emotions, they're really down. The more aggressive team and the team that has more energy has a good chance of winning the ball game.
And early on, it appears as if that extra little bit of energy is coming from the legs of the players in the white jerseys, Rockford Lutheran. Roby.
And I like how fluid the Crusaders' offense is now. Last night they were a little stagnant in their offense, not getting a lot of movement, but tonight you can see that they've went over some things, went back to the drawing board, and everybody has their assignment as far as what their cuts are, what their movements are in their sets.
Mark Weems held to just 8 points, 6.5 below his average. The first bucket of the game for Seton Academy comes from J.R. Tolliver.
And that's one of J.R. Tolliver's sweet spots, but Russell Robinson with a great save, and Mark Weems is going to the free throw line. But this is what I talk about when guys have to play with energy. J.R. Tolliver attacked the basket, got to his sweet spot, scored. Russell Robinson turned around, got a deflection, and got the steal for his team as we see Mark Weems trying to get something up at the rim because he knew he was going to get fouled. Smart play by him to get to the free throw line.
Weems, the second best free throw shooter for Seton at 66%. First substitution of the game, the first of many for the Stings. Christopher Seton, number 2, will check in. He's a 5'11" sophomore.
Yeah, it seems that Seton can go 55 deep in games because they sub so much. But Brandon Thomas has a lot of faith and confidence in his players that no matter who is playing, they're going to get the job done.
Crusaders struggling from the field, just one of their first 6. Make it one of their first 7 after missed by Oates. Another chance inside, and Seiler will finish it.
And that's just a hustle play by Alex Oates, getting the offensive rebound and also feeding his teammate Derek Seiler, who's been aggressive going to the rim in this game so far. I like what I see from Derek.
Thomas Kopelman to push it ahead to Roby as Tavius Montgomery heads to the scorer's table. They leave Kopelman open. Weeding, the freshman, battling inside. So Tavius Montgomery, following his timeout, will get his first playing time of the night. On the other side, Thomas Kopelman drains the 3.
Jane goes to school from 7:45 a.m. to 3 p.m. Then must go to softball practice from 3:45 to 6 p.m., followed by jazz practice from 6:30 to 9 p.m. What are you doing between 3:45 and 9?
A recent survey of Fortune 500 executives showed that 95% participated in activities while in high school. So don't just go to school, go beyond with the IHSA.
The Illinois High School Association. Challenge yourself.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Switch to Energy Star light bulbs, and you'll realize just how much cash you were really burning through. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
Time to play some trivia, brought to you by Realtor.com. Which president of the United States once played sports and participated in the theater program at Dixon High School? It's one of the easier ones we've had here in our first 3 weeks. Our trivia questions brought to you by Realtor.com. The folks from Rockford have made the trip down. They like to go by Satyrs, as in Crusaders. They've come out here in force this evening. Tavius Montgomery into the ball game, and he airballs a 3 badly. Seton's going to try it with the left hand.
Well, those are 2 bad shots, one from Montgomery and one from Seton on that wing. But these guys are letting it loose. It's Thomas Kopelman again. I talked about in the open that he needs to get hot from beyond the arc, and he has 2 threes so far tonight.
Kopelman left open a couple of times. Seton Academy struggling a little bit from the field as well. Just 1 of 5 last night. They were 27% from the field, only 3 of 14 from three-point range. 47 points they scored, the second lowest Seton Academy scored all season. The previous low came, of course, in one of their losses. That was to Farragut, 50-45.
And we're going to see the replay on this charge. A smart play by Derek Seiler, sliding over and recognizing that Mark Weems left his feet to pass. That's a heads-up play by the defender in Derek Seiler.
Seiler, the glue of this team, according to his coach, Tom Guzzi. Weeding, he's had a big postseason. Nice pass, nice catch. Montgomery again.
And that's what you want to see from Tavius Montgomery when he starts the game. You don't want to see him out on the outside shooting 3s. You want him in the paint. That's his bread and butter. Getting the offensive rebound and getting the putback.
The early 10-4 lead, and the Crusaders want to run. Kopelman. And here come the Sting. Weems stopped momentarily by Montgomery. He'll shoot over him. Well, you can hear the Rockford Lutheran coaching staff urging the Crusaders on defensively.
Yes, Coach Guzzi is all over these guys. He's trying to inspire them and give some energy to them because he understands that it's tough to come back the next day after losing a heartbreaking loss by 3 points. So he's trying to give these players some energy on the sidelines, and his coaching staff is trying to do the same thing as well.
Christopher Seton from Seton Academy with the bucket.
Nice skip pass.
Seiler, 3. Boy, taken just right out of there. Big up Russell Robinson, or make that Johnny Patterson into the game.
Well, I think everyone wondered how these two teams will respond, if they would be a little lackadaisical or tired. But Chris Seton, he's not tired. He's feeling good.
Well, he's not bashful coming off the bench. He's firing it up there.
But I like what he's doing, though. The team need a spark from the bench. They need some guy to come off the bench and inspire these guys to put the basketball in the hole. Now, Johnny Patterson was one of the guys for Seton last night, but Christopher Seton is the guy tonight, dialing up that 3.
You talk about the bench, here comes some more off the Seton Academy bench. Brandon Thomas will play 10 or 11. He may play 11 in the first quarter into the ball game. Number 11 is Curtis Cross for Seton. Also checking in, Ramon Goodlow. He wears number 22.
Now, this is rare to see Alex Oates on the block trying to post up. But they had an opportunity with Tavius Montgomery, but he passed the ball back out and didn't reestablish himself. See, now he needs to make his move. And great defense by the Sting, but Tavius has a tendency to hold the ball a little too long. He massages the ball and allows the defense to set and key in on. If he gets the ball and makes his move quick, it'll put pressure on the defense. He can get to the basket quicker.
He is their main offensive threat for Lutheran. 16.9 points per game, 8 rebounds. Leads the team in assists with 4, but his numbers were down last night in the loss to Breeze Central. Just 9 points and 7 boards.
And it's understandable because last night he was going against 6'7", 6'8", 6'8", 6'5", 6'4". So he didn't see much daylight in last night's game, but that's going to be a backcourt violation. Not a smart play on the inbounds to put Thomas Kopelman in that position, because essentially that's a quadruple trap. He's trapped by one. He's guarded by one player. He's guarded by the sideline and also the half-court line. So that's 4 defenders that Thomas Kopelman had to go against.
Kamal Shasi has it. He was quiet last night too. Only 5 points for the junior, who came in averaging over 11. He leaves that one short. A battle won by Cross. But here comes Roby. He likes to run. Track athlete on the move. All the way coast to coast.
And that's great upper body strength by Roby on that drive. 6'2", 185. He can finish with the best of them. Just avoids the defender and hangs long enough in the air to finish that play.
12-9 Lutheran lead.
Nice pass.
Shasi can't finish it off the feed from Cross. Kopelman open again. He's got it going tonight.
Now Thomas is cooking. Thomas is cooking, ladies and gentlemen. You have to watch out, because if you leave him open, he's going to keep knocking down shots. That's his 3rd 3 in this first quarter.
83 on the season for the sophomore. Wheating with the hand on the ball. Crusaders looking to close fast here to end the first quarter, but they will toss it away.
And we're going to see just Terrence Roby do what he does best. He's a track athlete. He just beats everyone down the floor, avoids the defender, and lays it up nicely off the glass. And Thomas Kopelman, this is his 3rd 3 of the ball game, knocking him down. Very effective in this first quarter. And I just feel that the Crusaders have a lot more energy than the Sting do. For some reason, Seton hasn't come out, jacked up and ready to play tonight.
Tough shot from the corner. Tom Guzzi, Lutheran coach, applauds his team's defensive effort to force that shot from Seton.
Coach Guzzi is like a 6th defender out there for the Crusaders, because he's calling out all of the defensive rotations and saying, hey, this guy you have to block out, or this guy needs to slide over and help on the drive. So he's helping his team out tremendously.
Montgomery to bring it up on Danye Coleman. Kopelman, a little stutter, couldn't get his feet underneath him. He had a good look. That's the 5th turnover for Lutheran here with 5 seconds to play in the first quarter.
Yeah, Thomas couldn't quite get his balance on that 3-point attempt. Maybe if he would have took a dribble to get his rhythm together, he could have launched another one.
Picked up by Oates. Wheating with the chance. Montgomery at the buzzer. The Lutheran will walk out of here after 8 minutes of play with a 6-point lead. Your third place game in Class 2A. Rockford Lutheran 15, Seton Academy 9.
How come an insurance company thinks 15 minutes is enough time to do a good job? How come
insurance companies tell me how much I can save
before they even know what I need?
How
come nobody gives me a financial plan?
I can understand?
Country Financial does. Your country representative can help protect what you have now and prepare for the future.
Somebody who knows retirement planning and insurance.
No kidding.
At Country, we always ask, what's your idea of financial security?
Hungry? Yeah. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Welcome back to our third place game. 6-point lead for Rockford Lutheran as we head to the second quarter. Matt Rodewald with you here as we go to Seton here, and Brandon Thomas kind of looks ahead to the state championship game for us between Breeze Central and U High. As far as his scouting report, well, Breeze kind of has the bullseye on him in his eyes as far as being the #1 team in the state. As for U High, they have more talent than anyone. And as far as Rockford Lutheran right in front of them, it's the one team they didn't scout compared to everyone else. They were able to be ready for Byron, for U High, for Breeze Central, for Harrisburg, but not Rockford Lutheran. So we'll see if this matches up here the next quarter and a half or so.
We got a good look at him last night, and he's seen 8 minutes of the Crusaders here tonight. The Sting down by 6, being out-rebounded 14-9. Seton Academy only shooting 21% from the floor.
And their energy level is really low. Now, going back to last night and the first quarter today, Seton has 0 fast break points. They haven't scored a fast break point in 5 quarters. That's amazing for a team that loves to get out and run and get the energy up and set their press. They haven't done that. So that tells me, hey, the energy is low. It seems like they don't want to be here, but you have to be a competitor. If you're a basketball player, you need to be a competitor. No matter if it's a third place game or a first place game. You're representing your school, you're representing your family, and you're representing your team.
Well, we were looking for that very indication prior to the ball game. Koppelman, he's on fire. That young man has some energy in those legs and that right hand. 4 threes, 12 points, and a 9-point lead for Lutheran.
Well, I'll tell you this right now, Dave. If someone doesn't check Thomas Koppelman, he's going to have a special night from behind the arc.
Weems went hard and traveled on the way there. Thomas Koppelman has that wide open look, and he's had it ripping off that right hand.
And these are the same looks that he got last night against U High. He just wasn't knocking them down. Tonight it's a different story. You can see the ball going through that orange rim very quickly because he's a dead-eye shooter.
4 of 6 from three-point range, and that has helped Lutheran here on an 8-0 run. It was 10-9. They've doubled it up now in the Sting with a minute gone in the second quarter. There's Koppelman's numbers.
And what I like about Thomas is that his release is really quick. So defenders can't really close out or block his shot on him because by the time they get there, the ball is already in the air or going through the basket.
Koppelman just a sophomore. Last year, as a freshman, he started. They just asked him to shoot and get out of the way because he wasn't very strong. This year, he's got that complete game going.
Thomas is saying, hey, Dave, I've been in the gym this summer. I got a little bigger. With Seton getting away with a turnover right there. They're going to call Alex Oates on that hold. They're very lucky on that possession. But I want to see more movement from the Sting offensively. They need to get all 5 players involved. J.R. Tolliver is back in the game. Maybe we could get him on the block and get him inside the paint. There we go. That's what he needs to do. J.R. needs to get on that block, score some points so the Sting can get back in this game.
Tolliver with his 4th point of the night. Averages 10.7 a game. Travius Montgomery Roby, now Oates. Oates and Montgomery transfers from Rockford Boylan this year. Roby elevates. Finally, a timeout by Seton. Damian Evans, he had the ball. He was looking around. There were no dark jerseys near him. So Rockford Lutheran coming into this ball game with a 29-4 record. Tom Guzzi feels that sometimes the Rockford area in basketball not necessarily respected as much as it should. Here's what's happening right now. You see Rockford, Auburn, and East. They're both in super sectional play coming up on Tuesday. Auburn, of course, winning the sectional title last year. Boylan a super sectional title in 2007. We were down here with Jefferson with a 4th place finish 2005. Of course, last year in Class 2A was Rockford Christian with the 3rd place finish. Winnebago, obviously, the success. In fact, Rockford Christian really is somewhat of a nemesis for Lutheran this year. However, the Crusaders got the best of Christian twice, both of them in overtime. So the problem with Rockford, as Matt Rodewald and I were discussing prior to this ball game, no state titles for that city until since 1956. That's when Rockford East defeated Edwardsville. And it will not happen this year in Class 2A. But, of course, you see Auburn and East both alive on Tuesday. Full slate of action in 3A and 4A. Tuesday Super Sectionals setting the stage for next week's tournament in Class 3A and 4A right here at Carver Arena in Peoria.
Well, I think Rockford has gained a lot of respect. Just the city of Rockford has gained a lot of respect from basketball heads in the state of Illinois. They've produced some great talent and some great teams.
Their representative this year has a 7-point lead with 5:50 to play in the first half. Trapping all over the floor, forcing up a shot by Damian Evans, but it goes.
And that was a tough shot by Damian Evans. He got a little contact while he was going up, but that upper body strength from Damian allowed him to put the ball in the basket.
Obviously, Lutheran with much more aggressiveness to the hoop. Here's Montgomery.
And Seton slapping down on the ball. You're going to get called for a foul every time on that play. And then mind the official, anytime he sees a defensive player slapping down like that and the ball just spurts out of an offensive player's hands, it's going to be a foul.
Couple of free throws for Montgomery. He has 4 points to lead back to 7. Weems finds himself open along the baseline.
And that was a great fast break play. An offensive transition. 2 passes, 2 dribbles, and a layup. That's what Seton needs to do. Get the ball out quick, get up the floor, get into their offensive game.
Oates. He looked, he thought, and he traveled.
And that's a great closeout by Damian Evans on that play. Chopped his feet, put his hands in the air to contest the 3, and forced Alex Oates to travel. That's what you teach in practice. That's what every coach tries to teach their players in practice. Close out with high hands, chop your feet.
I was about ready to say we're even in turnovers at 7, but you can add another one right there to Seton Academy.
And Brandon Thomas is going to talk to Jordan Foster on that play, saying, hey, just make it easy on yourself. You don't have to throw it that high. You're not really being pressured. Just relax a little bit.
Kopelman not getting quite as good a looks here in the last few minutes. Wheating fouled from behind. Russell Robinson will pick up his first foul here of this ball game. And we've come to a timeout here in the second quarter. Lutheran is led all the way and on top right now, 20-15.
Boo! Hey, where are you going? You can't get by me. I'm number 1 in this class. I rule this lab. I'm number 1. Hey, I don't think so. Yes! Winner! I am a king! Woo!
You wouldn't do it there. So, don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
What?
Jerk.
So, what's it gonna be? We could ride bikes. Skating. Movies. Zoo. Whatever you guys want to do.
Can we just do this?
Yeah. We could just do this.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
It's wonderful. It's up and down pace. We run on offense, on defense. Sprint is like, you got to prepare for it. We prepare for it before the season and like during the season. We run all the time. Like with the way we play, you have to rebound, you have to play defense, you have to get stops. And that's what creates our offense, and that's why people think we're so fast.
And that was an offense that led to about 80-point average scoring per game for the Sting. However, here in the playoffs, only about 55 points per game. They were held to 47 last night, and Cameron is just not really happening for them here in the postseason, and definitely not here in Peoria.
Because they've had a lot of missed opportunities at the rim. We saw it last night. We've seen it a little bit in this first half. They just haven't finished layups, but a nice steal by the track athlete, Terrence Roby. That is true athleticism on that play.
Boy, Roby accelerates instantaneously.
Wow, he got up in the air for that steal.
Weems has his shot stuffed. Possession will go to Lutheran.
I'm still taken back by that Terrence Roby steal and layup. My goodness, look how high he gets up in the air on the steal. I'm sorry, this is Mark Weems, but a great defensive play by Derek Seiler to get the jump ball and get the possession for the Crusaders.
That will be a 5 count. And you talk about Derek Seiler and the glue he is to this team. Derek, one of the more embarrassing injuries in his basketball career. He broke his thumb playing Xbox.
Wow.
Horsing around with some guys, and that would be a tough one to explain.
Must have been an intense game. Must have been some Call of Duty being played.
That shot short by Cross. Here comes Seiler. To Montgomery with the whistle. He's fouled on the floor.
Well, the Crusaders were fortunate on that play. The back tip by one of the Sting players ended up in Montgomery's hands. Smart play by Johnny Patterson, but it essentially passes it to Tavius Montgomery, who gets fouled.
Well, Chassis comes back into the ball game. They're looking to free up Thomas Kopelman. Instead, they leave Seiler open, and he buries it.
Great underneath out of bounds play, but Thomas Kopelman set that play up. He's hit 4 threes tonight, and Seton was all over him. They were keying on him. Derek Seiler just snuck over to the opposite corner, found some space, and got the 3 off.
Biggest lead of the game at the 4-minute mark here of the second quarter, 25-15. Roby with 13 points last night is bumped there by Cross. Will be the 16th foul on the Sting. The second foul on Curtis Cross.
Cross just a little overzealous on that play. Just needed to work Terrence Roby. Don't try to have to go for the steal this early. To try and turn the ball handler, keep working him. And as the game goes on, you'll be able to get that steal, but not this early in the ball game.
Not that time for Kopelman. They'll get Seiler. He agrees.
He said, yeah, I got him. I got him. You're not going to hear anything from me. I got him.
Foul number 3, Derek Seiler. That's his first. Team foul 3.
Got him pretty good.
He said, yeah, good call. Good call.
I think if Derek had a whistle, he would have blown it on himself. Only 15 points scored here by Seton. We have 3.5 to play in the first half.
Now Kamal Shashi had J.R. Tolliver on the block, but didn't even give him a look. Seton ran a great play for Tolliver to get to the block. He needs to get the basketball.
Shashi airballs it. That's a toe on the baseline for Tolliver, and he has the exasperated look. Things just not into a flow at all here for the Sting in Peoria. 2009 state champs.
And even though JR had 10 points and 11 rebounds last night, he's just had a tough go at it down in Peoria. And he's going to pick up a foul on this play. He can't believe it. But this is how the game has been played for JR. It's just finding himself on the opposite side of calls and of missed layups and any other negative thing you can think of when it comes to basketball. He's had a tough go at it.
Coming up next, the game everybody's been buzzing about here for the past 24 hours. Just down the road, University High from Normal will take on Breeze Central. The Cougars, who defeated Seton last night, come in as the state's top-ranked team. U-High, the lineup that goes 6'7", 6'8", 6'8". They're ranked 4th, and they'll do battle next right after this ball game.
And Dave, I'm rubbing my hands for that Brian Book and Kata Bates-Diop matchup. That is going to be huge.
Well, you talk about two All-Staters that will be directly matched up against each other.
Yes, that's what you want. You want to see the two best guys go at it.
Tolliver strong.
And again, JR gets it in a sweet spot inside that paint.
Seiler again from the corner. Weems goes high for the board.
Nice outlet by Weems.
Chassis, the feed inside to Brandon Woods, and he will go to the line.
And Johnny Patterson took a hard hit on that layup, but great pass by Mark Weems to start the fast break. Rebounds the basketball and has his head up. Sees Kamal Sashi. Kamal makes the defender commit and finds Johnny Patterson, who gets fouled. I like that transition play by this team. They need more of this. Head up, advancing the ball with the pass instead of the dribble, and putting their teammates in good positions to score the ball.
It finally goes down. Brandon Woods, one of the people off the bench for Brandon Thomas's team. Another one coming in. You see number 21, Armand Mooring. Free throws were a problem last night for Seton, and the loose ball goes to Oates. Tonight they're 3 of 4 from the line.
In these type of settings, you have to knock down your free throws.
Oh, the Lutheran fans thought that Montgomery was fouled, but it's Oates the other way with the block.
Oh my goodness, Alex Oates.
How about Alex Oates tonight? 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block.
And the and I can understand why the fans were screaming. Well, the Rockford Lutheran fans were screaming for a foul call. But then Alex Oates says, "Hey, Tavis, I got your back." Nice block.
Right there, 24, illegal pick.
Brandon Woods called for an illegal pick underneath. That's a frustrated group of Seton Academy Sting players. Brandon Thomas, who has been on the bench here in Peoria for 3 different state championships as an assistant coach at Seton Academy, at Leo, and at Hales Franciscan. Driving is Roby, and he's hacked by Chassis.
Oh, Terrence has to be careful. Showing a little bit more of those track skills, hopping over the table. Let's check this out in the replay. Smart foul by Kamal. Doesn't want Terrence to get anything easy.
Boy, Roby, look out, everyone. That takes a pretty good athlete to do that. You know, I mentioned it was Leo, not Leo High School for Brandon Thomas. It was North Lawndale that Brandon Thomas won a state title with. Leo happened to be one of the victims of Seton on their road to Peoria. And the lead goes to 11 at 29-18. Crusaders 6 of 6 from the line tonight. That will get the job done.
Oh, it definitely will. Knocking down those free throws helps, because you never know how a basketball game may turn. Now Brandon Woods needs to make himself available on this play.
Tolliver in traffic, and that's just strength that allows him to force that in.
And JR got away with a little chicken wing move against the defender. But as you mentioned, Dave, that's just brute strength by that young man.
8 points now for Tolliver.
I think if JR played football, he'd be a mean linebacker, because he has that build that he's stacked up top. And he looks like he played some people out. Look at those arms.
Both coaches running some fresh bodies in for the last minute 51. Eric Seiler will have a seat on the Lutheran bench.
Well, I'm sure that Seton wants to finish this first half off on a good note. Against Breeze Central last night, Brandon Book made a fadeaway or a three-pointer to send his team into halftime, and that kind of changed the tide of the game.
Traveling call, unfortunate travel for Brandon Woods. Lutheran having a tough time scoring from the field. Their last field goal came at the 4:12 mark. It's over about 3 minutes ago.
And that's a credit to Seton. They've done a better job communicating defensively against Rockford Lutheran.
A straight-on block of Alex Oates. And Seton an opportunity here in the final 80 seconds to make a dent.
They have numbers.
Seton, though, will pull up on that three attempt, and now it will be the Crusaders' turn.
Now, Christopher Seton just settled on that last play for Seton. Had the advantage. He should have drove that basketball into the paint to try and get something at the rim. But a nice steal by Brandon Woods. Now Seton's on the attack again.
Chassis is fouled as he looks to make something happen. That's only the 5th team foul on Lutheran, which is really impressive considering the defense they have played tonight.
Yes, indeed.
They have forced 14 Seton Academy turnovers.
And you would think it would be the other way around, that Seton would force 14 Rockford Lutheran turnovers.
Well, one of the strengths for Lutheran, their speed and defense. Chassis somehow gets to the hole.
And that's where Kamal lives. Slashing to the basket, avoiding defenders and finishing. That's what we need to see more of if Seton's going to win this ball game. He needs to be effective.
Plenty of time here for the Crusaders if they want it. Montgomery the miss off the hands of Tolliver. With 25 seconds left, Crusaders will have it.
And a big possession for both teams. You have to be aware of where Thomas Kopelman is, because Lutheran does a great job of running underneath out of bounds plays.
Seton on an 8-2 run since the 3:01 mark. They've got a chance to extend that here. Tolliver on the move. Nobody's going to stop J.R. Tolliver.
A lot of strength going to the basket by J.R. Tolliver. No one wants to get in the front of his way.
Kopelman, can he do it again? And he does.
Another three by Seton's opponent to go into halftime. That has to be heartbreaking. Brandon Book hit one against the Sting last night in the semifinal game. Thomas Kopelman hits one tonight, but J.R. Tolliver getting to the rim, using all of that muscle, and on the other end.
A 10-2 run by Seton Academy is stopped immediately by that Kopelman three, and so we will go to our halftime break. Your third place game in 2A. It's a 32-24 lead for Rockford Lutheran.
I could be tweeting about the cool video I just saw, but instead, I'm saving the family some money.
Have your new driver take our online course. They'll become smarter drivers, and you can save up to 10% on Country Financial Auto Insurance.
Well, aced it.
Visit simplydrive.com.
From the gridiron to the hardwood, on the links or on the track, on the diamond or on the ice. Go to prepfilms.com. It's easy. You can order your DVD online. At prepfilms.com, you make the memories. We'll make them last forever.
I could be tweeting about the cool video I just saw, but instead, I'm saving the family some money.
Have your new driver take our online course. They'll become smarter drivers, and you can save up to 10% on Country Financial Auto Insurance.
Well, aced it.
Visit simplydrive.com.
When life's this hard, it's no wonder 7,000 students drop out every school day. Visit boostup.org and help kids in your community stay in school. When life's this hard, it's no wonder 7,000 students drop out every school day. Visit boostup.org and help kids in your community stay in school.
IHSA Network Halftime is presented by Realtor.com. Realtor.com's real estate search app makes researching neighborhoods and finding homes for sale easy. Download it for your smartphone in your market or at Realtor.com/mobile. 8-point lead for Rockford Lutheran here in our third place game. Tom Guzzi, that three stopped the 10-2 run.
It sure did. It was a nice way to go in at half. Very proud of our kids. This game here, we told them, is all about character. Not being in the championship game, you find out a lot of how hard you're going to come out and play. Our guys have played hard all year. Very proud of them.
Your kids can run in transition, but what they do is hectic up and down. How do you get them to get under control but in transition?
Well, we try to have a fast-paced game ourselves, and we just try to get good shots. And if it's not there, we'll pull it out and run some offense. We tell them there's two phases to our offense. And they're a good team and they're quick, so we got to kind of slow down a little bit and just take what they give us.
Okay, Coach, good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Head Coach Tom Guzzi of Rockford Lutheran. The Crusaders trying to take home the third place trophy. We'll find out if they can do that next.
Grandpa! There he is. I love staying here. How long have you lived here?
A long time. You know, your mother grew up here.
I'm gonna have a house like this when I grow up.
I hope so, buddy. I hope so.
For the first time in generations, the dream of home ownership is being threatened. Realtors, members of the National Association of Realtors, are here to represent you and protect home ownership.
When life's this hard, it's no wonder 7,000 students drop out every school day. Visit boostup.org and help kids in your community stay in school.
Hi, my name's CJ. A few years ago, my father became seriously ill. I did what I could do before he passed, but it took its toll. I lost my job, my house. I'm getting back on my feet, but I don't know when there'll be food on the table. How'd I do, CJ?
We could be twins.
Well, cousins, maybe.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Nice.
Yes, go! Yes!
No!
Come on!
Oops. Yeah, sure.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Moms everywhere are finding ways to keep kids active and healthy.
Works every time.
Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov.
Halftime here of our third place game in Class 2A of the Rainbow Shot promotion. One of the long traditions here in Peoria, here at halftime of our Class 2A third place games. Take a look at the highlights of Rockford Lutheran and Seton Academy, and so far it's been Rockford Lutheran in front most of the way based on threes. Thomas Kopelman hot early. He was 4 for 6 early on from 3, and he ended up 5 of 9 from long range with 15 points. He's the only Rockford Lutheran player in double figures. But for Seton Academy, they were able to shave a lot of the deficit as they headed towards the break. A 10-2 run, as we mentioned, right before the half, and then a 3 late from Kopelman to put us at 8 at the break. 6 of 18, they've taken a lot of threes. 10 turnovers for Rockford Lutheran. They've been able to handle the pressure just well enough to hang in on this lead. And 14 turnovers for Seton Academy, uncharacteristically having trouble hanging on to the ball here in the first half. Again, our lead, 32-24. Rockford Lutheran trying to win third place. And we got a 2A championship game between Breeze Central and U-High coming up tonight. We'll be back here on the IHSA Television Network.
I'm Matt DeBlock, a fourth-generation family farmer from Aledo, Illinois. Family farmers like me are a lot like you, but we still have to earn your trust every day. Growing the best and safest food we can raise, treating our animals with respect and care, and protecting the world we live in. All of that makes me a lot like you, and a lot like the 94% of Illinois farmers who are family farmers.
Hey, my name's Katie and I'm in the 9th grade. I'm an A average student and I'm an athlete working towards a scholarship. And everybody tells me how much potential I have. But I just wish someone would tell me where my next meal is coming from. Katie, how'd I do?
Do you have to be so serious?
Well, I mean, I did like a crazy dance in a movie if you want me to like, you know, do a little, no.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
All right, guys, we gotta be smarter about what we bite on, okay? I want everyone to go outside. We're gonna run Red Rover on 3.
What about you, Tony?
I'm gonna run around in circles, flatten my arms, and make engine noises like this.
When it comes to playing, we kids are the pros.
We're eating right, too.
We fuel up
To play 60!
If your school doesn't have a program, be a leader. Start one.
Click today and join the movement.
When life's this hard, it's no wonder 7,000 students drop out every school day. Visit boostup.org and help kids in your community stay in school.
The rainbow shot here in Peoria, that one goes in. But I've got to tell you, while you were gone, we had two longer than that one. Almost a full court shot for the rainbow shot. And Cameron, that probably was the biggest noise we had in this arena in the first half. What a great performance that was.
Yes, it was. Hitting 2 half-court shots, or 3 half-court shots during halftime. Got the fans on their feet and getting this crowd up to get some energy in this building.
Well, speaking of energy early on, of course, Rockford Lutheran had all of that energy, but Seton kind of came alive here a little bit at the end. And when you take a look at the first half stats like Matt did, it really is somewhat evened out a little bit.
Yes, it has. And Rockford Lutheran has done a great job defensively. They forced 14 Seton turnovers and gotten 8 steals, so that's good on their side. Now for Seton, 14 points in the paint. That's huge. That means that J.R. Tolliver is getting himself going. He has 10 points, 2 rebounds, so he'll need more of that for them to get a win.
It was that big three-pointer by Kopelman at the buzzer. However, it was a 25-15 lead. Rockford Lutheran missing their last 8 shots until that 3, but none of the threes we saw tonight longer than the one that you see in our rainbow shot. Holy cow.
Hey, great party.
Oh, thanks. Here you go. 1 hamburger, medium well.
This is well done.
No. That's medium well.
What? Are you calling me a liar? This thing is practically burned.
That's it. You're not going to come to my house and tell me how to cook a hamburger.
You wouldn't do it there.
You gotta be crazy.
So don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
My name is Fernanda. I'm the wife of a teacher. Budget cuts affected my husband's salary, so I'm picking up some part-time work. We're doing everything we can to make sure our kids eat today. Tomorrow, I just don't know. Fernanda, how'd I do?
Well, I usually fold the underwear first.
I meant the acting, but good to know.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Full day of basketball here today. And boy, if you were with us in the afternoon, you saw a couple of good ones. Illini Central, the 51-48 win over North Shore Country Day. And then your 1A title game decided on a 3 in the final 20 seconds. Woodlawn knocking off Carrollton to claim their first state championship. We're at the half in our third place game in 2A, and then the game everybody has been talking about. That will come up next, Breeze Central and U High. Back with you here at Carver Arena with Matt Rodewald, former Southern Illinois Saluki, Cameron Smith. I'm Dave Bernhardt. And Cameron, we watch teams take the floor how many hundreds of times during the course of a year, but there was a real message sent just moments ago when Rockford Lutheran got on this floor.
I mean, Rockford Lutheran sprinted onto the court. They sprinted like it was a fire in their locker room. These guys are inspired. They're ready to play. Seton isn't out yet, so I'm pretty sure that Brandon Thomas is giving his team an earful, trying to inspire these guys for the second half, because they had a little deja vu before the first half ended. Thomas Copeman hit a 3 going into halftime, and last night Brandon Book hit a 3 going into halftime. So those were Seton's 2 opponents. They need to come out inspired. They need to come out with urgency to get this third place trophy.
We're still about 45 seconds away from getting the second half started. Let's take a quick look ahead to tonight's championship ball game. Breeze Central only 1 loss on the year. Normal U High, all of their losses have come to 3A, 4A teams this year. A truly great and interesting matchup.
Well, it's going to be one inside the paint. I mean, when you think about Brandon Book, you think about Kata Bates Job, that matchup intrigues me a lot. But then Mitch Styczynski, he's going to be huge. Brent Agnew is going to be huge in this game. And also, Breeze Central needs to come with another guy inside to counter the 3-6-8 guys that U High presents.
That'll be coming your way immediately following this third place battle. Of course, already a state championship trophy claimed by Woodlawn. This is week number 3 of 4. We'll be right back here next weekend. We wrap up America's Original March Madness with our boys Class 3A and 4A tournament. And everything pretty much holding to form in those 2 classes. So be sure to join us. That will begin on Friday at noon. Of course, come on out and see some super sectional play on Tuesdays. Seton will get things started here in the third quarter.
I'm going to start with a 1-4 flat and try and get Jordan Foster going. Here comes Russell Robinson across the paint, but looks like they're going to try and set up J.R. Tolliver. If they can get him the ball on that block, not outside on the arc like he is now, he's more effective inside that paint.
Foster rises from 3.
And Jordan Foster started the second half strong last night. And it's no surprise that he knocks down a 3 to start this second half.
Sting looking to pick up where they left off on the run, that 10-2 run, fired to the 3, and Tolliver with the putback, his 12th point of the night. And just like that, we have a 3-point game.
5 straight points by the Sting. Great job by them to start this second half. And Jordan Foster, who was really quiet in that first half, hitting the 3 to get them started. And J.R. Tolliver adding to his 10 points. He has 12 now, but Jordan Foster, nice release on that jumper. Get some nice lift on that shot.
Those are the first points of the night for Jordan Foster. The block will send it the other way. A long one would tie it. From the free throw line, Tolliver. Bodies all over the floor on the other end. The ball comes this way. Now Roby with it up top.
And the Crusaders are going to be patient. No rush out of these guys. They're going to keep working their offense until they get a look that they like.
Tolliver will pick up the personal foul. That will be his second. Tolliver, the senior.
And I'm sure that JR wants to go out on a good note to end his high school career. But picking up fouls like that, it's not going to end on a good note. He has to be a little more smarter out there. And Kamal Shashi picks up a careless foul as well. Seton has a tendency to try and swipe down and pick up steals. These guys are a little too anxious on the defensive end. They have to be more disciplined and try and work Rockford Lutheran.
Montgomery working baseline. Whistle blows again.
And that's a great example of what I mean in terms of Seton working their opponents defensively. They were patient on that play. J.R. Tolliver led Tavius Montgomery into his help, and they were able to force Tavius into a tough shot. Seton gets the possession and also picks up a foul on Rockford Lutheran.
Robinson with the left hand. Montgomery will finally give it up to Kopelman. All right, that was an adventuresome trip down the floor. Oates, 3. He goes down following the shot. Missed it wide left.
And it's been a tough couple of minutes for the Crusaders, not being able to get anything offensively. Coach Guzzi is trying to cheer these guys on from the sideline, saying, hey, let's go, fellas. This game isn't over. We have a lot of basketball to be played.
You know, at this stage, we've talked about it the entire game, the energy level, playing in a third-place game after emotional losses the night before, is that will go down for Foster to make it a one-point game. He has 5 points on the night. But right now, it's become a basketball game. It's not become a third-place game.
Yes, and these head coaches have reminded these guys that, hey, we need to win this game. Doesn't matter if it's third place. This is a basketball game. You need to be a competitor and go out there and represent this team in our school proudly.
Lutheran has not scored here in the third quarter.
And Seton is turning up their defense. You can see these guys, they're more active. Getting their hands in the passing lane, tracing the ball when the Crusaders pick the ball up.
Just inside the arc for Alex Oates, his first basket of the night.
And I believe that's Alex's range, that 15 foot range. He can knock down shots, but when he tries to stretch it out beyond the arc, he gets into a little trouble.
Oliver will head to the free throw line.
I'll tell you right now, Dave, that Terrence Roby is going to lose that battle anytime he goes up in the air and tries to rearrange or outmuscle J.R. Tolliver going to the basket.
Tolliver, an honorable mention, Associated Press All-State. Double-double last night. Also had a double-double in the super sectional.
Well, it's a good sign to see him knocking down his free throws. He was 6 of 12 last night. Not very efficient or effective.
But yet very close to his season's numbers at 56%, and he splits a pair there.
And that's a great call by the official. Great call.
The Crusaders from Lutheran trying to hold off the Sting. It was a 12-point lead for Lutheran. It's now just 2.
How come nobody told me about all the hidden costs
of cheap insurance?
How come?
How come insurance companies tell me how much I can save
before they even know what I need?
How come?
How come
nobody asked me what my idea
of retirement is?
Country Financial does. Your country representative can help protect what you have now and prepare for the future.
Somebody who knows retirement planning
and insurance.
I like that.
At Country, we always ask, what's your idea of financial security?
You realize that 49 million Americans struggle with hunger? That's 1 out of every 6 Americans.
These people are around us every day. They're our friends, they're our coworkers, their kids go to school with our kids. Sometimes we're not even aware that they're struggling. This problem is closer than you think. But so is the solution.
Give a gift of meals to a family in need. Visit feedingamerica.org/giveameal today.
Realtor.com is asking you tonight which president of the United States once played sports and participated in the theater program at Dixon High School. It was our 40th president, Ronald Reagan. Sports, theater at Dixon High School. Your trivia questions here in your state tournaments in the IHSA television network, brought to you by Realtor.com. Cheerleaders from Rockford Lutheran wearing the purple. That space will be occupied in about 45 minutes or so by another set of purple-clad cheerleaders. That will be the cheerleaders from Breeze Central. They'll be taking on the Pioneers from U-High, our state title game in 2A. This for the lead. Leading into the game, the freshman will get it up ahead to Kopelman. Numbers for the Crusaders. Here's Roby flying in and unable to finish it off. The other way we go. Tolliver stuffed by Montgomery once, twice.
And that's a big-time defensive play by Tavius. stuffing J.R. Tolliver. But before that timeout, Dave, we touched on how Seton has turned up their defense, and Tavius Montgomery has turned up his defense, stuffing J.R. Tolliver twice. That is huge, but he did it the right way. Arms straight up in the air, and he didn't bring him down. Made J.R. take tough shots.
Weeding hooks his way there and travels.
And it's been a rough offensive second half for the Crusaders. They're shooting 28% from the floor in this second half and 30% from behind the arc. So Seton has turned up their defense and ran these guys off the three-point arc.
Lutheran just 1 of 7 from the field. Boy, it's a good thing they have hit those 6 threes, or they would have been in a little bit of trouble. Here's blocking foul the other way.
And a smart move by JR to try and avoid the defender. And Montgomery's turned those shoulders. Anytime you try and slide into the player or turn your shoulders when you're trying to pick up a charge call, it's going to go the other way.
Three hops on the rim, and it will not go down. Brandon Thomas looks on. He didn't come down to Peoria to lose 2 ball games.
Not at all. Coach Thomas is a true competitor. We mentioned his background playing high school basketball. Played some basketball at Grambling State University. So we all know that he's a competitor. He wants to win.
Roby will pick it up, and that's a backcourt violation.
And that's another turnover for the Crusaders in this second half.
They have 12 total now. Talk about Brandon Thomas. He is very proud of his 2 state championships as a high school player at Kimball High School in Dallas. And he was very quick to remind us on Thursday, yep, they're in the state semifinals once again. So the alum remembers.
True pride in his former school.
Oh, a little bit of extra pushing there. Tavius Montgomery has had just about enough.
Cooler heads need to prevail in this. Don't want to pick up anything chippy.
That's the 3rd foul on Tolliver. 3.5 to play here in the 3rd quarter. A 1-point game in your Class 2A 3rd place battle.
And when you have a 3rd place trophy on the line and you're playing against a competitive team, things like that are going to happen. You have 2 big guys, Montgomery and Tolliver, going at each other and battling each other through this game. And a great hop step by Jordan Foster. Just can't finish.
Robinson's tip, it comes up short.
But Dave, you said that these 2 teams are getting after it in the second half, and you can see it. It's pretty obvious. Their energy level has risen.
Yeah, you can look at the neck on down and you can see how hard they're fighting, but you start looking into the eyes. We have a great vantage point here courtside. You see a whole different level of intensity now.
Oh yeah, the desire is in their eyes. They want this game.
The Sting making it so tough for Lutheran to get into their offense. And a chance here for the lead. Chassis has it ripped away by Weeding. A 3-on-1.
Nice pass.
Roby waits and will shoot 2.
Well, in transition, Tavius Montgomery has surprised me. He's a pretty efficient passer. We saw a couple of nice dimes that he threw last night against U High. We see the Sting on the break. And we're going to watch Kamal Shashi. I would rather him shoot the pull-up jump shot instead of going into a bigger defender, because he's not going to get a foul call. But a great play by the young gun, Nick Weeding, getting that defensive stop and steal. But Kamal just drives a little too deep for a guy his size. You would love to see him take a pull-up jumper, maybe even a high floater on those plays, because he tried to do the same thing last night against Breeze Central and Brandon Book, and it was either a block or a jump ball.
Robinson. He will get it to Woods.
And that's a nice flash by Kamal and a nice pass. That was a great flash by Kamal Shashi. Anytime you're trapped, you need to send a teammate to the free throw line. And we're going to see Russell Woods get to the free throw line. But Kamal Shashi, his basketball IQ is very high. and he puts his teammate in the position to get some points. And this will help Russell Robinson get into this ball game because he's had a tough go at it in Peoria. We've mentioned the troubles that J.R. Tolliver had last night and a little bit tonight, but Russell Robinson has really been ineffective in Peoria, and this will help him, help his confidence, because he can change the game if he's aggressive inside that paint. And Coach Thomas has talked about trying to get Russell a little more urgent and a little more mean scoring the basketball.
He scores 2 from the free throw line to tie it. Montgomery unable to answer, nor Weeding.
Look at Brandon Woods. Getting a little trouble right now, though.
But Oates with the steal. Montgomery with the bucket. It's getting serious in Carver Arena.
Yes, the intensity level has turned up. These two teams are playing hard. As Derek Seiler picks up the blocking call. But you can just feel the energy from these two teams. And a great trap by the Crusaders. Alex Oates gets his hand in there, gets a steal. And that could have easily been a charging call on Tavius Montgomery. But the official didn't see anything. He let the play on, and a tough finish by Montgomery.
Foster drills the first. 6 points tonight for Jordan. Now Roby will come back in for the Lutheran Crusaders, replacing Seiler.
Now offensively, the Sting is following the same path that they did last night with Jordan Foster asserting himself into the game. But on the flip side of that, you don't hear from Mark Weems or Kamal Shashi scoring the basketball. So those two guys need to get involved in this game.
Free ball to Montgomery. Corner, Kopelman. He's got his 6th three of the night.
And that's a beautiful find by Tavius Montgomery. Again, he thrives in transition, passing the basketball. And he found Thomas on that right wing. And Nick Weeding, the freshman, being strong in that trap. And this is where Tavius thrives. Head up, finds Thomas in that deep corner. Thomas lets fly, and you know that's going in. Anytime you give a shooter those kind of looks and that ball goes through that hoop, his confidence rises.
The free throw line tonight. Seton getting the job done. 9 of 13. Weems splits a pair. New possession, but a double dribble.
Good call by the official. Mark Weems doesn't realize that he double dribbled, but after getting that rebound, he took a dribble, picked it up, and then took another dribble.
That's the 17th turnover for Seton. Rockford Lutheran with 14.
And someone is not guarding Thomas Kopelman. He had a quick open look, but you have to identify where he is. Crusaders going to go right inside to Tavius Montgomery, and I like that move.
Oates gets it to Roby. And off the hands of Alex Oates. Roby, I think, a little bit surprised he got that ball.
And I think he was surprised because Tavius had an advantage against Brandon Woods on the block. About a 40-pound difference if you look at those two guys. And Tavius has to be more aggressive trying to get to the rim, especially when he's posted up on the block.
A whistle away from the ball. I think we're going to see, Cameron, the officials tighten this one up a little bit here in the final moments of the third quarter into the fourth.
And I like that move by the officials. That's Brandon Woods' second illegal screen in this game, and Coach Thomas is not pleased with that call or by the move of his player, Brandon Woods. He's just not getting his feet set on his screens. He has to do a better job of establishing position first before trying to screen a body.
Kopelman, tough pass. Not sure that was what Tom Guzzi had in mind for the final 30 seconds.
Not at all, but Russell Robinson spreading out those arms, that wingspan, making Thomas Kopelman turn that basketball over. And I like the move by Coach Thomas, getting J.R. Tolliver back into this ball game. You want to hold for the last possession, and I would love to see Russell Robinson come up for a high ball screen for Jordan Foster. And maybe Jordan can get in deep in the paint and dish off either to J.R. Tolliver or get a layup himself.
We're down to 10 seconds. Foster with it. Jordan Foster. Chassis has that shot blocked by Roby. And that's how our third quarter comes to an end. J.R. Roby showing his versatility across the floor. So blocking that three sends us to the fourth. A 3-point lead for the Crusaders.
I'd like you to take a moment to do something. Imagine life without breast cancer. Did you know that more than 1 million people around the world are diagnosed with breast cancer each year? And of those, more than 410,000 will die from breast cancer each year. That's one woman every 75 seconds who will die from breast cancer in our world. Join Susan G. Komen for the Cure in creating a world without breast cancer. Together we can make it real. To learn more, visit Komen.org.
Salad on Saturday, fruit on Friday, throw a ball Thursday. Water Wednesday, touch your toes Tuesday. Let's move Mondays, while it's next Sunday.
60 minutes of physical activity a day and eating well can help get your child healthy. So keep them active and eating well every day. Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov. That's letsmove.gov.
And welcome back. Rockford Lutheran with a 3-point lead as we head to the fourth quarter. And as we always do, heading into the fourth quarter, we talk about celebrations that are planned for both schools. For Rockford Lutheran, you can expect the standard rally at 12:30 on Sunday. But for Seton Academy, a little bit different. They're going to celebrate, as the principal told me, with a mass on Monday. And then they're going to have their rally towards the end of the week on Friday. So they have to wait a little longer to celebrate. But I think the celebration will be a little louder if they have a third-place trophy.
Indeed, Matt. Thank you very much. Matt Rodewald, I'm Dave Bernhard, Cameron Smith alongside, and when the intensity gets picked up, it usually gets picked up on the defensive end, and that showed in the third quarter with the shooting percentages for each of these two teams.
Yeah, Seton was 3 of 13 shooting that basketball, and Rockford Lutheran 3 of 12, so this defense is picked up. These guys are getting into the shorts of their opponents, and you have to earn every basket that you get, as we see Nick Wheating earning his basket. Big play by the freshman.
His first points tonight. He had 8 last night, 23 in the super sectional. That offensive putback will give his team a 5-point lead. Now Lutheran getting into that trap a little bit more. Tolliver, the fadeaway. Ooh, J.R. Tolliver.
I think that's the first fadeaway we've seen from J.R. this weekend. I didn't know he had that in his game. And if he can add that, then man, he could be a really, really deadly player. He's already a deadly player with his strength inside the paint and on the boards.
He has 16 points tonight. Thomas Kopelman, thanks to his 6 3-pointers, leads all scorers with 18.
And this is the money quarter for both teams. You have to bring your A game. This is it. 6 minutes left of some of these players' high school careers.
Montgomery with it. He's one of those seniors. He gets it to a freshman, Wheating. And that shot is blocked by Robinson, and here comes Weems.
And that's how Russell can change the game, by blocking shots using his size and his length.
Thomas Kopelman.
Well, Thomas Kopelman's 6 threes is a Class 2A record for a single game, and it passes the record set 2 years ago by a guy we're going to see in a couple minutes, Brandon Book, who had that against Hales Franciscan back in 2010 in the third-place game. The overall record, gentlemen, shared by Brian Wardle of Hinsdale Central in 1997 against Thornton in that quarterfinal game, and 8. As I saw this one in 2005 with John Shire, Glenbrook North over Waukegan in the super sectional. So as far as the tournament records go, 8 is the overall number to get to. We'll see if Thomas Kopelman, the sophomore, can get there tonight.
He's got time, 6.5 minutes here in a 1-point game.
How about the company Thomas Kopelman is in? When you talk about John Shire, arguably one of the greatest Illinois high school basketball players to ever play. Certainly one of the greatest shooters. Everyone knows that.
Roby passes up the 3. He gets it to Kopelman. Well, he's one more closer.
He might be challenging that record. Thomas Kopelman living from beyond the arc. Wow, he is feeling it.
21 points tonight on 7 threes, and it's a 45-41 Lutheran lead. He is 7 of 12 from three-point range. Weems drains the three.
And you can see Mark clap his hands together saying, let's go, guys. That's a big three for Mark to get him into this ball game. He's been quiet in the second half, and we saw that last night. But hopefully he can change his fortune tonight to pick up the third place trophy. But look at the spacing for the Crusaders. They are spreading Seton out. And they're getting good looks as we see Nick Wheating down on the block, but it gets his shot blocked.
That's twice he's been in that post and had his shot stuffed back at him.
But Rockford Lutheran is spreading Seton out. They're setting great screens, making great cuts, and the pace that they're making on their cuts is setting them up for their shots, because that's about the third time that Nick Wheaton has found himself down or around the rim going up for a shot attempt. Now he's at the free throw line.
That foul was on Kamal Shasi. That is Shasi's fourth, and he stays in the ball game here at the 5:26 mark. Wheating knew he missed it the moment it left his hands. A chance for a lead for Seton. Weems goes hard. That's offensive.
Smart play. Derek Seiler again stepping up. But Mark Weems, again, needs to develop that pull-up jump shot, because once you see a defender set like that, if you're a ball handler, the next thought in your mind should be pulling up, maybe kissing it off the glass or displaying a nice touch. But Seton, their guards have to be careful, because as you mentioned, Dave, Shashi has 4 fouls. And Mark Weems picking up another foul. This could be huge.
Turnover number 16 will give Seton Academy another shot to take the lead. Remember, it was a 12-point Lutheran lead in the second quarter. See several players with hands on hips. The final 5 minutes of this one, 45-44. Lutheran the lead.
Well, these guys are, I'm sure they're tired. They have to find something deep within them to push them through in these final 4 minutes.
Foster about to get trapped, but Wheating will pick up the personal foul. Rockford Lutheran with a 1-point lead, and they can thank number 4, Thomas Kopelman. 7 threes in the night, 21 points.
How come insurance companies tell me I can save like 40%?
Before they even know what I need.
How come my company never asked me
my idea of financial security?
How come nobody gives me a financial plan?
I can understand.
Country Financial does. Your country representative can help protect what you have now and prepare for the future.
Somebody who knows retirement planning
and insurance.
Yeah.
At Country, we always ask, what's your idea of financial security?
My name's Reggie. Just recently, my wife and I took in her sister's children. And we already had 4, so I went from becoming a family man to a man with a bigger family. Now, you can't eat love, so I don't know how I'm gonna feed them tonight. How was that, Rich?
I think I look more like Denzel.
That's cold, man.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Back at Carver Arena, while you were gone, Jordan Foster stepped to the free throw line, hit a couple of free throw tosses, and that's given Seton the 46-45 lead, as Brandon Thomas now will talk it over. He gets to finally play with the lead, trailing by as many as 12. Well, right next door to us here at Carver Arena, the exhibit hall hosting a March Madness experience. They have expanded the exhibits this year to get everybody involved. And the beautiful thing about this, for both the weekends here in Peoria, it's all ages, including wheelchair basketball. State wheelchair basketball tournaments being held on a couple of courts next door to the March Madness experience. And the results right there. How about the hometown Peoria Wildcats? They go 6-0. Rockford, they're represented. The Chariots, the 4-2 record. So a great time here in Peoria at Carver Arena. Wheelchair basketball. It's all part of the experience you get when you come to Peoria for your state tournaments. We'll be right back here next week. Hope you can join us either online at IHSA.tv, at ESPN3.com, or the station you're watching right now on your IHSA television network. Good one here in the third place game. We still have a title game to play after this one. And the Lutheran fans getting into it. Big possession here for the Crusaders.
And they're not going to be rushed. I like what they're doing. Setting those two screens up top for the ball handler to come off to give him some space and free up another teammate. But they're going to wait until they get a great shot. And Seton has to be disciplined. They can't pick up a cheap foul because they're frustrated that Rockford Lutheran is taking so long to make a move at the rim.
Nice bounce to Seiler. Montgomery, the great fouler. His 10th point, a 1-point lead for Lutheran.
And credit Tavius for attacking the rim. Didn't take for granted that Derek was going to make that layup. Tavius tipping that ball in over the outstretched arm of the Seton Academy Sting. That was a big-time move. And this clock is ticking down. It's money time, Dave.
Down to 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Foster on the lead-in. Battle won by Tolliver. He'll shoot two.
And the strength of J.R. Tolliver on that play. But Russell Robson did a great job of tipping it over to Tolliver. And Tavius Montgomery's going to pick up that foul. Again, those hands are down. If you put those hands straight up, you're not going to get that call. JR to the free throw line. 50% on the night. Let's see if he can step up and make them.
He'll need this one to tie. 6'5" senior. A brand new ball game begins with 3:36 left on the fourth tie of this ball game. We're locked up at 47. Roby turns it over.
And there's the pressure defense from Seton. As I mentioned in the first half, they were trying to go for steals early, and they were picking up fouls. But if you continue to wear on your opponent defensively and you keep picking them up and guarding them full court, and they constantly see you, they're going to do some uncharacteristic things late in the ball game, as you saw Terrence Roby getting called for the carrying violation.
Weems with 10 points tonight. The first team All-Stater will give it up to Tolliver. Now Shossi playing with 4 fouls. Goes aggressively to the basket. His pocket picked by Seiler. A 2-on-1. Kopelman and Weeding playing catch. And finally a foul.
It looked like Kamal Shashi got hit in the eye on that last drive.
Quite a defensive play there by Seiler. Shossi did get popped.
We talked about Coach Guzzi saying that Derek Seiler is the glue of this Crusaders team. And with plays like that, you can understand why.
Weeding now 0 for 2 from the line as he's missed a pair of the front end of 1-and-1s. Underneath 3 minutes to play. Third place in Class 2A. Rockford Lutheran, a 4th place finish in 1994 under legendary coach John McDougall. Seton, state champs in 2009. Oliver struggles on his way there. Rebound Weeding.
And Seton is struggling in these final minutes of the game.
4th foul here on J.R. Tolliver. Up over the back.
And the non-movement by the Sting offensively is allowing Rockford Lutherans to just sit in their stance and wait for anyone that drives the basketball. If you don't move when you're on the offensive end, you're helping the defense out because those guys are just sitting and waiting and watching the ball handler.
Well, that's the 10th foul on Seton, so 2 free throws now for Weeding.
And that's a big shot by the freshman to give his team a 1-point lead.
Kamal Shossi enters the game out momentarily after getting hit in the eye. Remember, both he and Tolliver playing with 4 personal fouls.
So they have to be very careful, but Nick Weeding, the freshman, stepping up and being confident at the line to give his team a 2-point lead. Now the Sting need to move offensively. You can see Mark Weems just standing on the wing, Kamal Shashi just standing in the corner. But they have to get some kind of movement because Rockford Lutheran is just sitting there set in their positions.
Weems has it now. Gets a pick from Tolliver. Weems all the way there. There's the scorer's mentality. Mark Weems, we're tied at 49 with 2 minutes to play.
And that's one of the reasons why Mark is the leading scorer for the Sting, because he can make the impossible possible with a nice finish on that drive.
Into the corner, Kopelman for three. Thomas Kopelman with his 8th three of the night. That ties a state record here. The state finals, 24 points and a 3-point Crusader lead.
Let Thomas Kopelman cook.
Two the other way for Seton as Tolliver gets his 19th point of the night.
Big time play. Jordan Foster, the senior, stepping up for the Sting.
Now Foster will come out and meet Roby.
Seton has to find Thomas Kopelman. You cannot lose him. You cannot lose Thomas Kopelman.
There he is, and he gets it back to Montgomery. 60 seconds left. The ball in a 1-point lead for Lutheran. And the foul, and that will be the 5th on Chassis.
Thomas Kopelman tying the record, 8 threes, all of his points from behind the three-point arc, and he knows he's feeling it. Look at that stat. I mean, the fans in this arena are witnessing history right now, tying the record. And if he gets open again, you better believe that that shot is going to go down, because he is feeling it.
8 of 13 from three-point range. He's only taken one shot inside the arc. Seiler, no on both of his attempts. Underneath the minute. Seton Academy down by 1.
And if you're Seton, you want to try and drive it to the basket. If you get fouled, you're going to the free throw line, so they have to be strong.
Up top it comes to Woods. And a timeout called by Seton with 31.8 seconds left. Well, the money man all year in these situations has been Kamal Chassis. He has just fouled out. Chassis has hit big shots after big shots to win games. Probably none bigger than the 4-point play he converted with 7 seconds left to send the Sting into overtime in the very first game of this tournament, the regional semifinal against UI. However, he will have a seat on the bench, and Brandon Thomas will have to pick somebody else up to take that final shot. There you get Thomas Kopelman, 3-point shooting, 24 of his team's 52 points. They've all come from the outside, and he's had good looks.
And on all of these attempts, Dave, he's comfortable. He's relaxed. He's not rushed. He's not throwing anything up at the rim. He's getting right into a shot, getting his feet set, and just letting it fly. Great release, great balance on those attempts. And this kid is a bull's-eye shooter. He will knock your eyes out with his three-point ability.
And you know who I feel bad tonight for?
Who's that?
The band that's playing here. It's the West Carroll High School Band, and the reason I feel bad for them is they witnessed Thomas Kopelman light their team up for 37 points earlier this season.
Ouch.
So when West Carroll is in the house, Thomas Kopelman is on fire.
I'm sure the band members are saying, oh my goodness, that Kopelman kid is doing it again. This looks like a familiar story.
Foster will cross half court. Weems, penetration. Rebound, Montgomery. And a foul with 18.6 left.
Mark Weems putting up a tough shot. Derek Seiler over there again, disrupting the drive by Mark Weems, and Tavius Montgomery on the boards. Now he's going to have to step up to the free throw line and knock these down. He's only a 65% free throw shooter on the year.
He is 4 of 4 tonight. Shooting with the 1-point lead. Make it 2.
Swished right through the net. That is all confidence by Montgomery.
He'll crash the board. How about Montgomery with 12 seconds left, and Kopelman will go to the line.
Now that may be the play of the game. That cannot happen if you're Seton Academy. You have to make sure that someone is boxing out the shooter. And Tavius Montgomery just sneaks right inside and gets the offensive rebound, and now the Crusaders are back at the line.
And you put a 75% free throw shooter there in the form of Thomas Kopelman. 25 points tonight, a 3-point lead. This one is huge, and down it goes.
Big play by the Crusaders. That was a huge play. Tavius Montgomery. Wow.
Similar situation for Seton Academy as we had just described against Chicago U-High in their first game of this tournament. Brandon Thomas figured that the best he could do in that game with his team down by 4 was make a shot. At that time, Seton was out of timeouts. UI wouldn't have had to even inbound the ball. However, Chassis was able to draw the foul and convert the 4-point play. Not the same situation here. 2 timeouts left for Rockford Lutheran. Seton does have 1.
Well, the Seton don't have the luxury of having Kamal Shashi out on that floor to put up that 3-point attempt, but whatever Seton's going to do, it has to be quick. Only 12.1 on the clock. You're down 4, so you can't stall. These players need to go attack whatever play is drawn up by Coach Thomas and make sure that they foul if the ball goes in.
Tom Guzzi played in the state tournament in 1991 as a junior starting point guard for Rockford Lutheran. He had a second trip denied. His team was favored in 1992 to get to state. However, Guzzi, on the day of the sectional final, had emergency appendectomy surgery. People have told him that's why you're here, is to make up for 1992. And he's looking for a third-place trophy if he can defend the last 12.1 seconds.
And the Singer taking too much time off the clock.
Foster looking for that 4-point play. Rebound, Roby. And that will do it.
Hats off to the Rockford Lutheran Crusaders being able to battle back in this game and win the 3rd-place trophy.
And a great shot there just momentarily. You saw 3 coaches hugging. You saw Tom Guzzi hugging. There was a gray-haired gentleman there as well. Who was that? His dad, Jerry Guzzi.
And it has to be a great feeling for father and son to win this ball game. They've done a great job coaching their players, and hats off to the Seton Academy team because it wasn't easy getting down here in Peoria. These guys have battled, just ending up on the opposite side of tonight's game.
You wondered about the energy early. There was no questioning it late, and that young man right there, Thomas Kopelman, 26 points on 8 3-pointers. So Tom Guzzi will pick up the 3rd-place trophy. 55-51, Rockford Lutheran over Seton Academy here in your 3rd-place game in Class 2A.
I could be tweeting about the cool video I just saw, but instead, I'm